You have a business idea. You've probably had it for months, even years. And here's the ugly truth: over 90% of people with great ideas won't ever get them off the ground. They quit before they start. So, what separates the 10% who actually launch their business idea from the 90% who don't? Let's find out. A Brigham Young study revealed something pretty mind blowing about aspiring entrepreneurs. Of those who have a good idea, there's only a 10% chance they'll act on it. Of those who commit themselves to start, there's a 25% chance they'll act on it. Of those who set a date to actually start, there's a 40% chance. Of those who create a plan to start, 50% chance. Of those who tell someone else of this plan to start, 60% chance. And of those who commit to sharing their progress with someone by a certain deadline, it jumps to a 95% chance that they'll act on it. What do these stats tell us? That the only difference between dreamers and doers is action. To go from a wantrepreneur to an entrepreneur takes you moving your brain and body in the direction of your goals. It takes incorporating your head and your heart into your habits. And this might be hard to recognize, let alone implement for the 90%. So, why do so many people stall on taking action on their idea? What's the real problem behind starting? It's not about the idea. Everything has a messy beginning. Most successful companies start with unimpressive solutions. It's not about time. You make time for what matters. You're in charge of your calendar. It's not about the money. You can start a blog, a podcast, a YouTube channel, a social media account for free. It's about safety. When you don't feel safe enough to execute, you freeze. What makes us not feel safe? Fear in the form of doubt. Who am I to do this? Can I pull this off? Do I know enough to not make a fool of myself? All questions answered in the mind. We think security is found in the job that makes us dread Mondays and live for Fridays, being at the mercy of CEOs we can't influence or control, let alone talk to. Is that safety? Or just another prison guarded by fear? Safety is a problem solved in the mind. Granted, there are jobs that are fun and exciting and rewarding. Good. If you've got that job, I'm happy you have something that lights you up. For everyone else, if you want freedom of your own making, keep watching. Hi, I'm Yvette, the Declutterist, your less is more coach and business mentor. And today let's talk about what turns dreamers into doers. Starting a business is a journey of self discovery. It's learning to trust yourself and your intuition. It's reclaiming your creative power. If that calls to you, it's for a reason. It's something you can't deny or silence. So here's some encouragement to heed the call. Something I want you to remember. It's not about having the perfect idea. It's about launching version 1.0. The real world experience from testing and iterating, from getting feedback from the community is what drives growth. You can't get to version 2.0 without it. So the sooner you launch version 1.0, the better. The hardest part is starting. The next hardest part is simplifying your systems, your focus, your effort, where you put your energy. The third hardest part is staying the course. You'll hit a dip. You'll wonder, why isn't this working? Maybe it feels like you've been stuck for a really long time. And yet the secret is still to keep going. The distance between you and your goals is your mindset. Never lose sight of the goal. How you go the distance is where action comes in. The right steps at the right time. How do you not waste time, money, or energy so that going the distance is easy? That's accountability to yourself, to your vision, to those you impact. Accountability to avoid getting sidetracked and sidelined and set back. Remember the stats in the beginning? The 95% chance that things will tip in your favor? That increase is due to accountability. If the only thing between you and your goals is your mind, then the right accountability will keep your mind disciplined enough to close the gap. So, what's important for accountability? If you're looking for an accountability buddy or a program, here are a few things to ask for. Clarity. You know my goals, I know yours, and what happens if we don't accomplish them. Reciprocity. Both parties need skin in the game, whether time, money, or reputation. Your partner or program needs to be held accountable to something too. Consistency. Ask for regular, structured check ins, preferably weekly. Specificity. Don't just ask me how it's going. Ask me specific questions tailored to my goal so there's measurable progress toward what's next. Support. You need the right balance of encouragement and tough love when you're struggling, not just generic pats on the back. Size. Size matters. I think smaller the better, 4 to 8 people max per cohort. So everyone gets real attention and can build genuine relationships and a circle of influence. And expertise. Ask for guidance on your unique challenges related to the business stage you're in. All of these combined will help you keep going when the going gets tough so that nothing, not fear, doubt, or haters, stand in the way of your dreams becoming reality. Are you ready to join the 10%? I think you're ready. Give me a hell yeah in the comment. And sign up for my free newsletter below, and I'll keep you armed with the right resources to go the distance. I'll also link to my 3-month action and accountability program in case you're interested. Most people try to go it alone. They rely on willpower and hope, but the research is clear. Accountability is the difference between the 10% who succeed and the 90% who don't. Which side are you on? Until the next one.